All right. Why don't we get started? I know it's a work evening. I don't want to keep people too late. Um, but welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for signing up to volunteer. We're super excited that you all are going to be there alongside us to support this wonderful event and to start your relationship or begin continuing your relationship with MCSW. I guess we could just start off with some quick introductions of everyone on the call, your name, organization, and what drew you to volunteer. Let's start off with some of the staff first as a housekeeping. So I'm Shalea West. I'm the Program and Research Director with MCSW. I've been with the organization since last August and have been working in youth work and alongside students for over 15 years within my career. So I'm really excited to be working on GELI alongside my colleagues and all of you. Tina?
Hello, everyone. Tina Games, Regional Commissions Director with the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women. I've been on staff for 15 months. And before I joined the staff, I was a Cape Cod and Islands Regional Commissioner for 6 years, served as chair for 2 years. So I was on the other side of this event, coming and supporting from the regional end. And now I'm on the staff side. So thank you all for being here. Shaitia?
Hello, I'm Shaitia Spruill. I'm the Executive Director of the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women. Like Tina, I also served as a Regional Commissioner and a State Commissioner, so I've been on now all sides of the organization. I'll be celebrating a year in this role in a couple weeks. So I'm so excited to see you all here. I'm so excited to be going back in person, specifically for this event. This is the first year that we've been able to do it in person. And this is just a really, really exciting time. So just know I'm accessible. If you have any questions, I'll drop my phone number and my email in the chat. I'm gonna hang out with y'all for a little bit, but I might have to skedaddle to go get my baby. But in the meantime, happy to be here in sisterhood with you all. Thank you all for your time. And I see Marjorie. I don't want to put Marjorie on blast, but Marjorie, she's on our staff as well.
Hi all, I'm Marjorie Bernardo Alexandre. I'm the Administration and Finance Director for MCSW. Of course, I am extremely happy to be here. And the reason I'm volunteering is because I love people. I love to see young ladies and I love to see people improve. So anything I can do to assist, I'm always available. I'm a big community-oriented individual. I take care of a bunch of different programs for the community. Wherever I'm needed, they call, I answer. So for me, GELI's like that. I'm not here only as an employee. I'm here because I am also a mother of an 18-year-old. Well, she just turned 18, and women empowerment is a big thing for me. Thank you, Shalea, for inviting me.
Absolutely. So thank you to the staff for introducing themselves. And let's start off with our wonderful volunteers. I'm just going to start off with calling the first person name that actually put their name in the chat. Is it Tiana?
Yes.
Hello.
So I'm Tiana Mikulski, recent graduate from Worcester State University. Nayana actually sent me the link probably about maybe 3 weeks ago. And since I would say I did history and political science in college, and I have political campaign experience, but I also very interested in like higher education advocacy. I was like, you know what? She came around the right time, and I'm like, let me just volunteer. And I'm bringing someone with me, so yeah, I just want to see how it's gonna go. And I'm used to Worcester, so I'm always in the city.
That's great. Thank you so much. How about Laura?
Hi, my name is Laura Cabrera. I'm part of the Commission, Berkshire County Commission, the Status of Women. I'm part of Latinas 413. I also work for Berkshire Habitat for Humanity. I decided to do because I think it's very important for me as working with the Latin community, the women's in the Latin community. So this is an important event. I also have a daughter that she's 10, and yeah, so happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Is it Cami? Oh, you're on mute. Cami, you're on mute. Oh, I don't know if she can hear me.
I don't know if we can unmute her.
I think I
Let's-
can unmute
Okay,
her.
I think I
There she
got
goes.
it.
Yep.
It said I was unmuted on one thing, but not the other. So sorry about that. I am in the middle of getting my nails done right now. So I already have this appointment booked, but I'm Cami Gervais and I'm from Bank Hometown. I'm a branch officer in Worcester. And women empowerment is very important to me. I've gotten involved in a lot of different Girls Inc. and I do mentoring through the United Way Dollar Scholar Program. So all of this is just very dear to my heart. I have 2 daughters and I'm very excited. This is my first time. I was actually invited by another branch officer at the bank, Erica, who, you know, was very proud to invite me. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time during your self-care moment to join us. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Miss Chisholm, is that correct? Hope so. Uh-oh, maybe she can't hear us just yet. Let's move on to Shannon.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Shannon Butler McCorrow. I work at Wellesley College, where I am the dean for first-year students. Formerly, I worked at Salem State University as a social work faculty member, so my background is in social work. I live in Lowell. I was invited to volunteer for this event by my friend Amy, who serves on the Essex. Is Lynn part of Essex? Yes, Essex. I can't remember what city is in what county. So she serves on the Essex Commission of Women, and you know, like working with women. Yes, Amy Smith, working with women and doing things with girls is just part of something I've always done all my life. And I've been blessed with one daughter who is a college graduate and out of the house now. She went to Quinnipiac University where she earned a degree in finance. So I'm happy to be participating.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have Amy.
Hello, my name is Amy. I'm currently a student at Mount Holyoke College. I'm originally from Springfield, and I learned about this because I have been involved for a few years with the Women's Fund of Western Mass.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. And we have Karen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Pottishman, and I heard about this initiative just on Facebook. I had signed up to get information about the commission, and when I saw the GELI, I said, oh yeah, that's a good one. I need to be involved in that. I am a life and leadership coach. I work primarily with women, helping them to become empowered to lead a life that they're going to lead and live and love. And so often I have women coming to me who but by the grace of God, they came to me and they might have benefited earlier had these types of programs been available to them. And so I want to find out how I can help out and how I can help some of the young women to get on the right path. That's all.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for being with us. We're excited that you all are here. And let's dive right in. Let me pull up my presentation and begin to share. And to the colleagues on the call, if I miss anything while we're talking about MCSW, please feel free to jump in.
And while Shalea is pulling up her slides, she won't be able to see questions or hands being raised. So I'm going to keep an eye out. If you have a question while the presentation is going, you can drop the question in the chat. I'll make sure Shalea sees it, or I'll read it out, or you can raise your hand, your virtual hand. I'll keep an eye out for questions.
Yes, thank you, Tina. All right, so here we all are. Leah West, Program Research Director. All right, so about MCSW, this is our, spiel, but basically our goal is to support all the women and girls within the Commonwealth on many different levels. And, the commission stands for fundamental freedoms, basic human rights, and the full enjoyment of women and girls. And so we want to be able to support as a voice for the women and girls and make sure that these things are accomplished as well. Just to give you a lay of the land of our organizational structure. So we have 4 appointing authorities, as you can see right here: Governor, Senate President, Speaker of the House, and the Caucus of Women Legislators. We also have 19 volunteer commissioners for the state, and then 11 regional commissions as well. And then we have our staff side where you can see the executive director and then all of our titles underneath that as well. And so that's just to give you an idea of what the commission consists of and the folks that are working in support of what we're doing and our goals.
Real quick, Shalay, I just want to add here, I really like to underscore the importance of our regional commissioners. We have a total of 103, when they're all fully seated, women that volunteer with us. So much like what you all are doing, volunteering your time today and volunteering with us in a couple weeks, we also have women that regularly volunteer their time to focus on studying the status of women and helping us move our agenda forward. And I do want to also say the volunteers at the state level also volunteer, but this is an unpaid job and it's a lot of work, and we recognize that and we really appreciate. That's why I really have to say I appreciate you all taking the time to just serve us and serve the girls of the Commonwealth. So thank you.
Here we go. Sorry. So here's what we do. We study, review, and report on the status of women and girls within the Commonwealth in order to inform leaders of the business, education, healthcare, state and local governments, and the communication, which is the media, on issues pertaining to women and girls. We also provide referrals and serve as an information resource on issues pertaining to women and girls. And so that's something that I think all the commissioners and staff do really well, because we're all heavily connected to different things within the state, different organizations, different people. And this is a way that, we're going to use all of our resources to get all of the girls there, alongside with your help with our registration and any of our other programs that we're providing as well. But today's about GELI, so I'm going to leave that there. And then we also identify and recommend qualified women for the position. And so folks who are appointed, correct me if I'm wrong, they're appointed, but we can also seek out folks that we would like to join the commission as commissioners. Am I correct with that, you all?
So the way that it works, so at the state level, the 19 volunteers that we talked about, those 19 women get appointed by the 4 appointing bodies, which is the governor, the Speaker of the House, the Senate President, and the Caucus of Women Legislators. They usually do annual calls for commission applications in the summer. Usually, COVID really messed this up, but usually it's in the summer. And then you get appointed to a 3-year term that usually ends on Halloween. Terms start in November. Regionally, it's a little different because the state body appoints the regions. So we do accept applications on a rolling basis. I know Tina's working the chat, but she might be able to help us identify the folks that are actively looking for commissioners in which areas. But all that information is always available on our website. But as a body, we recommend to other bodies and appointing authorities women that could fill those gaps. We're working really closely with the Boards and Commissions Office now that there's a new administration to help fill some vacancies. So send us your resume if you're interested in serving on a board, on our commission, on our regionals. We're happy to play connector.
Yes, we are. And Tina is our regional director. So if you have any questions about the regionals, you can definitely answer that as well. And so this is how we do it. Here's some of our commissioners at our Provincetown hearing. This is probably a month after I started. And so what we do is we build strong relationships with legislators, community organizations, all of you in the community. We partner and support regionals. We host public hearings, and we did 3 this past fiscal year. We went to Provincetown, Lynn, and Pittsfield. We also host and support several events, including International Women's Day, GELI, which is the Empowerment Leadership Initiative, Advocacy Day, Commonwealth Herons, our Speakers Bureau, and collaborate with other women serving organizations and girl serving organizations within the Commonwealth as well. We're going to talk a little bit about GELI. So GELI seeks to empower youth across the Commonwealth to advocate for themselves and their communities. And the initiative really focuses on developing leadership and civic engagement skills through educational workshops, opportunities to network with other folks who are, in the community doing really well work or good work that, some of the teams and the participants might want to get involved in. And it's the opportunity also for them to connect with their own peers on their level across the state as well. The initiative was first launched in 2020 with the support of Speaker Robert DeLeo and elected officials. And we were planning an in-person summit during COVID, but the pandemic hindered us to do that. So it was virtual the last couple of years. This will be the first year that we're doing it in person. We hope that participants gain confidence, explore their leadership styles, expand their legislative advocacy skills, and ultimately have fun and connect with other people. The goal really is to make sure that that enjoyment is fulfilled as well, alongside all the educational pieces of the program. So here's how we're going to do it. And I know this slide is very loaded, but I did not want to leave anything out in case you all had questions that you wanted to refer to now or look at something for the schedule later. And then we're going to break these down also. So this is kind of an overview of what the schedule looks like. The staff and volunteers, if they're available, whoever would like to come and help set up with us in the morning, we're going to arrive from 7 to 8. Then we will prepare for breakfast and registration. So we'll be eating breakfast while we're preparing for the registration as well, so that make sure that you all get what you need and get fueled up before the day starts. Then registration will start around 8:45 in the morning and end around 9:30. Our welcome remarks will then start promptly at 9:30 to 9:45. And then we'll have a quick transition to our first block of sessions. And the sessions that will be presented on are from commissioners, some regional and some state. And so we have Bramel DiCarvalho, who's going to do a workshop on how to people manage. Amy Smith will be presenting Public Speaking 101. Shanique Spalding will be presenting on civics for the future activists and you. Then we'll transition to the second block of sessions, and we are going to have a special guest. Ignite National will be coming to talk about what they do on a national level of how building leaders for today to be the voice of tomorrow. And then we also have one of our regional commissioners, Lisa McDonald, talking about confidence and conflict and how to manage that. Then we'll transition to lunch, and we'll host a lunch table talk and networking type of session, and we'll go into more detail about what that looks like. Transition to our last set of workshops, which will be Meredith Tuitt. She'll talk about how do we do advocacy at the Mass Commission and really talk about our Advocacy Day training. So the GELI Leadership Initiative, we're trying to train all of the young women and girls who join us to come to the State House with us on Advocacy Day and really advocate for different women's issues with the legislators in person. So all of the training that they're going to get, the public speaking, the civics, will really help inform what they're going to do at the State House. And so that training session will kind of give us a more of a lay of the land of what it will look like for Advocacy Day and what we need to do to prepare for that. Allison Goldberg will do a session on investing in ourselves, which is really focused on economic empowerment. And Adriana Taylor, who is the daughter of one of our commissioners, will talk about job coaching and the power of presentations. And then at the end of the sessions, the end of the workshops overall, we're going to have a celebration and debrief where that will look like some, remarks of thank yous, but also organizations who will join us for tabling to give information out to the students that do join us about their programs, the services that they provide around mental health. We have someone on the call right now, Alex, who is a part of the Painters Union, I believe. So really talking about, what opportunities they have within that respect. And there's other organizations as well that are escaping me as I'm telling you this, but they are coming and they will be there to give out their resources as well. And then we'll load the buses and we'll get out of Girls Inc.'s hair. And I forgot to mention, Girls Inc. is hosting us. We're using their space. And so they've been a great partner throughout this process. And we really appreciate their partnership as well. So we're excited to utilize their space. All right, so now we get to the part where we talk about some of the roles we need support with. So just so you all know, I did create a volunteer role sign-up sheet, and I will grab this link once I stop sharing and send it in the chat. And you all will be able to kind of sign up for what you feel most comfortable taking on throughout the day, depending on if you'll be with us for the full day, partial day, what have you. And so we do need folks to help support with some of our bus transportation. And what that looks like is people were requested on our registration from various locations of where they might need transportation from. And so we're still in the process of securing a few, but we do have several locations that the transportation will be coming from. And this is really a role, you know, that you would first of all be able to get on the bus there and back, not have to drive, which is really awesome. I know I am tired of driving everywhere, so I don't know about you all, but I am. And so that would be a great opportunity, but really an opportunity to help support us with any students who will be riding that bus, because we have a silo role with knowing the young people that will be traveling with us to the event. We really wanted to kind of elect people that could help us facilitate that process and just make sure that people get to and from safely and securely. We also have a role that would be helping greet participants in the morning. And what that will look like is really just cheering people as we see them coming through the doors, helping with registration, passing out different swag, promotional items that we have. We have a lot of items that we're going to be passing out that day. And so that's what that role will look like. Supporting the transitions. So that will really be something that's throughout the day, making sure people are getting to the right room for their workshops. We'll make sure the rooms are labeled so that we know where everything is as well. And really just helping them move along so that the workshops can start on time as well. And then supporting the lunch session. So we're gonna host a lunch table talks is what we're calling it, like a networking lunch. And so there are commissioners who are hosting a table topic. And we have a few table topics. What are some of them right now? Economic empowerment, something around self-esteem. What else did we talk about? Anybody on the call remember?
I think we were thinking career conversations in certain fields.
Yes, yes. And so what the hope is that some of the commissioners will be able to take over some of the topics. And if there are topics that you all would be interested in hosting a lunch table as well, you know, everyone has their own expertise. Everyone has something that people can learn from. And so we're open to having you all host a lunch session. And what that will look like is really just helping facilitate the discussion at the table. We definitely will create questions. We already have created questions that will kind of help you facilitate that process and make sure that there's a note taker as well. And so those could be a few roles. If there's enough commissioners kind of filling the actual tables, then maybe we need a note taker at the table. So that would be something that we would ask for folks to do as well. Anything I'm missing about the lunchtime table talks?
I don't think so. I think you've covered it. I just have a quick question, if you don't mind,
Sure.
Shalea. Do we, and we may already have this taken care of, but in the actual workshops themselves, is there a volunteer role to play there for taking notes or helping the facilitator in any way?
There isn't, but we would like support with that. Yeah, that's something we can definitely do. So I'll make sure I add that to this list before we send it out. Yes, good thinking, Tina. Thank you. And so then we have the end of program celebration, which will really be turning the room around. So when we get there, the room will be set up for us to eat our meals for breakfast and for lunch. There's a big stage with a podium, and there'll be round tables all around. And so what we'll need to do is help support changing out the tables to the long 6-foot tables so that we can set up the room in a more tabling style, like if you were to go to a market event. That's kind of how we want it to look for the celebration, so that all the organizations can be alongside the room in an area where, you know, folks can go up to them and learn about what they do, but then there's still room around the room for kids to really, you know, dance if they want to, because we'll have a DJ there. So we really want to make that session part really fun and informative and safe for people to move around as well. So that's what we'll need help with that part of the program. And then just our cleanup, of course, we definitely need help with making sure we're putting the space back how we found it. We will have an event planner group who will be helping us do that as well, but that's one of the roles that we would like help with if folks do stay to the end of our program. And then we have some exit surveys. So we have exit surveys that will need to be filled out by participants at the end of each actual workshop session. And then we also have an overall program survey that we would like everyone to fill out. And if we could just get, volunteers throughout the day to really remind folks to fill out the survey, especially during that celebration piece, because they'll have a little bit of downtime to do it. That would be a big, huge help. As you all know, data is everything in a lot of ways. And we want to be able to make sure that we capture that data so that we not only can inform, all of the processes that we talked about earlier, but also just make sure that our GELI events and all of our future events are really done well. And if there's anything that we miss, we want to know from folks and really be able to support that. So that's part of why we have the exit survey. So here's our roles. I'm going to stop here. I know I said lots of things. If there's any questions, maybe some questions in the chat that I'm not able to see right now.
We are good in the chat. I have answered everything there. Does anybody feel free to raise your hand if you have a question at this point? You can raise your physical hand or your virtual hand, and I'm scrolling. I think we're good, Shalea. And somebody's giving you applause, so it's a great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Well, let's move us along a little bit. So
actually,
questions.
I have one question. I just lied.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
So I have a quick question for you. So everything you're saying sounds great. I'm there for your whole day. In terms of what you need, just put me wherever you want. Do you want me to just hold off and then you can just fill me where you need me? Obviously, being a tradeswoman, being an organizer, I want to, make sure I'm getting information to the kids about, how to apply to apprenticeships, et cetera, et cetera. And, speaking to kids about going to trades and, going union and all that would be great. But wherever else you need me, I will be.
I appreciate that so much. And I absolutely will go and plug you in places, Alex. Thank you.
No doubt. Thank you.
Marjorie, you unmuted, my friend.
Yes. So as you know, I'm going to play your right side. Wherever you need me, whatever you want, just, my experience is that I've put a lot of events together. I'm also executive of the Haitian Americans. So every May I put events for the entire state, and even the parade I put together, that's over 2,000 people. So when it comes to events, wherever you need me, whatever you need me to do, I will be there, and I'll be there early.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marjorie. And maybe you should have someone from your organization come and table.
Yes.
That sounds good. There is actually there is several organizations that are part of shelters. So we have a lot of women's shelters and they have a lot of young girls. So I'm always thinking that route. What is it in my community? I'm from Boston. So the way I see it, Boston is my city. So name it Dorchester, Mattapan, although I live in Rosendale. But
it's all good.
We all know. So it's always one of those things I have questions about when we are volunteering, is for us to have the little pet talk on conversations. How do you greet people? How do you conversate with people? So prior to the event, that is one of those things that I think would be nice to meet all the volunteers together so that we can actually talk about it. Because when it comes to young ladies, it takes a lot of patience. And me being a mother of twins and teenagers, I kind of like thinking on all these young ladies that are going to be there. But on how to breathe in, breathe out, take our time to get things done. I think it's one of those things I would like to see at the beginning.
Of course, absolutely. We will definitely do that. And we're also going to do some grounding. So I do have an exercise for us to do in the beginning, just to kind of get our minds really free flowing and everybody relaxed and feeling good about being there. And yeah. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. We'll make sure that happens.
And Shalea, we do have 2 questions in the chat, so I'll read the first one. The first one is, which volunteer roles would overlap with each other time-wise?
Good question. Okay, I would have to stop sharing in order to answer that.
Okay,
Is
well,
everyone
hold
okay
on.
with me? Okay.
Well, hold on one second. Let me ask you the second one. The
Sure.
second question is, are you looking for colleges to table?
Yes, we would love for that to happen. Does anyone have specific ones? Is it Wellesley? Shannon?
Yeah, it came from
Yes.
Shannon. Yes.
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 I can email you separately. I
Okay.
can check in with our PR or admissions team,
Yep.
and see about that.
Let's do that. Absolutely.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes,
Yeah.
Laura, go ahead.
I just sent the invitation and somebody wants to volunteer, but
Sure.
she was asking me because she has a little daughter,
Mhm.
she can bring her daughter or no?
So age-wise, what were we thinking?
So let me ask a question, if you don't
Mhm.
mind. Laura, do you know how old her daughter is?
Yeah, she's very little, like she's like 9 months.
Oh, she's a
No.
baby. Okay.
Okay.
So, I think, I think it's certainly fine if, just being mindful, we don't have childcare at this event. So as long as she can carry, the baby and, I'm sure we can work with that as long as she's comfortable bringing her baby. So I think it's something we could probably work with.
Okay.
We just don't have childcare. I just want to,
Yeah.
Okay, and I have another question. It's not translation in Spanish, right? Because she speak a little bit English, but I will be translating
Okay. So
with
Laura,
the translation.
if you could also, so everyone that's on the call, anyone that you're planning on inviting or having join us as a volunteer, participant, and the like, everyone, including yourselves, needs to register. And so that's the way that we're going to get the translation too, because Laura, we do have people who could support that also. So yeah, if everyone could register, or if you're invited folks, to make sure they register as well.
Can I brag, Shalea?
About,
Can I just do a little bragging about that? I just want you to feel comfortable.
Oh, you just went
what do you
on
mean?
mute. Marjorie, you just went on mute. There you go.
Brag and I'm on mute, which is really bad. So MCSW is really covered about that. So if you need language or even sign language, we got that covered. So once you register, you let us know. We will provide all the assistance you need.
Yes, and folks who need any translation or accommodations, I'm looking at a calendar right now. I think we wouldn't be able to accommodate anything up until Wednesday, April 12th, just because we do need some time to request it. So just
correct.
You know that.
I'm requesting Spanish right now, though. So we'll have Spanish ASL for sure.
Amazing. Thank you, Shai. Any other questions I can answer before going back to that other one?
Anybody else? Feel free to either speak up or just drop it in the chat and I will read it. All right.
Sharing.
All righty, go ahead.
So what was that other question I was supposed to answer, Tina?
It was about volunteer roles and how they're going to overlap. And I can certainly see the question, the different roles and how they might overlap time-wise with each other.
Yeah. So you know what I'm going to do now that we've created our schedule and it's clear, let me go in before I send you all the actual sheet and write the time slots so that we're all clear about the times that you would be volunteering for. What role? I think that would make the most sense. Does that feel good? Okay, perfect. Y'all was so quiet and I just hope I'm doing y'all justice right now.
So I have a quick question just for the group. Now we are having, or we're working on it with transportation for certain groups of girls coming in. I'm not sure right now if we've got, I don't want to say chaperones, but I guess that's kind of maybe what it is. We are in need of people to be on the vans or the buses, whatever we end up getting at various locations, because it's just important for somebody, an adult, to be there beyond just the driver. So if you feel like you would like to not worry about driving to Worcester and you'd like to hop on one of our buses or vans, that would be terrific.
Absolutely. So if you know your location right now, if you could throw it in the chat, actually, that will make it easier for me to reach out after this session directly, what your location is and if you would be willing to do that and want to ride the bus.
Great. Karen, I saw your hand. Did you have a question or?
I did. Just a quick question. Just for clarification, where are all of these young women going to be coming from?
Yes, so all over the state.
All over the state. Okay,
yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
How many counties do we put on here?
All 14 are on there, but I think
That is terrific. How
I think
exciting.
we might have a girl from every county, honestly. We have
do.
what, over 100?
So right now we have 114 people registered that are participants, 115 participants, 195 total.
Terrific.
Mhm.
So we're really excited about that also.
Absolutely.
So Amy, I see you're in the chat. So you're Springfield, possibly, you said you might be willing to.
I could possibly be a chaperone. I
Okay.
wouldn't be able to pick the girls up at their houses.
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
no.
personal choice.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We're not asking for that either. We'll
Yeah.
make sure the transportation gets to a location. If you haven't already registered, if you did, you'll see that it says like transportation and you're able to choose which location is closest to you. So those are what we're working with, those locations specifically.
Right. And I don't have it in
think I
front
have
of
it
me, but
open.
I think Springfield, I mean, we're still narrowing things down based on who's registering. I think Springfield is Girls Inc., but I'm not sure off the top of my head. So what will happen, Amy, is once we get the location where everybody's going to meet, we'll let you know where that is. You can go to the location and then you'll hop on the bus or the van, whatever we end up having at that location.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll make sure that folks who elect to say that they can do this.
Oh,
Okay,
Holyoke.
great. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure if it was
Oh,
Holyoke.
that's even better, Amy, I think, right? That would even, well, maybe not. Holyoke. I think you go to
Holyoke is
Mount
about
Holyoke. Okay.
20
All right.
minutes away from me.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, and Shannon had a good question. If we take the bus down, do we have to ride the bus back? So that's something we would probably need to be mindful of, because I think we probably would need somebody on the back end. So we just need to be
Yeah.
mindful. If you can only do one way, let us know.
Yes, absolutely. If you can only do one way, we would have to find someone else. But the hope would be there and back if possible. And what was I going to say before that to one of Amy's comments? I cannot remember. Sorry, it escaped me. Might come back to me and then I'll connect with you. Oh, we'll make sure you get a list of folks who are supposed to be on that bus. Mm-hmm.
And Laura, for you, were you, I think we may have a group coming from Pittsfield. So I don't know what your plans were coming from Pittsfield.
I think I'm gonna drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Any last burning questions for us? No? Y'all excited? I am. I can't wait to see them. There's a few teens that I worked with in previous jobs who signed up and texted me this week saying they're coming. So I'm excited to see them also. I think it'll be cool.
I think the next thing, Shalea, were you going to drop a link in the chat? Or are you just going to follow up via email with the link to volunteer for certain things?
I'm going to follow up via email. I'm going to actually sit here after the session and just fill in those time slots so that they're more clear before I send it out.
Okay, so everybody just keep an eye out for your email and we'll get you a link where you can sign up for certain roles. And Marjorie, it looks like your hand is up.
Yes, I have a question. Will we have another meeting prior to the event after we're filling out we're done with the form?
I might do touch points individually with folks who are here. I don't know if we'll do another final meeting, a full one, but we can think about if that's something we can do. Yeah. Let's think about that on the staff side too, in general. And if it would be helpful for you all, absolutely. So tell me what you all need, but you'll probably hear from me a lot in your inbox also.
All right, any last questions, comments, anything from anyone?
Okay, well, from the bottom of our hearts, we really, really, really appreciate you all.
Amy, yes. Let me get you a link, Amy. Yes. I will get that for you. Amy's asking about internships, so I will take care of that.
Of course.
Yes, we have a fantastic internship program, so I'm going to grab the link and I will drop it in the chat.
Send in your resumes. We're looking for summer interns. Perfect timing.
I have another question. Can I share all the information in our Instagram or Latinas 413?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you all have our Instagram, is it Mass CSW?
Yeah.
It'll be on the slides as well when I send them out to y'all.
So I just included the link to registration because
Okay.
all the volunteers need to register too. So the link is right there. Please log in.
Yes, and then there's our GELI website. If you want to gain any other information, the schedule you saw today will be updated hopefully by Monday on the website. Hopefully quicker, but we just kind of fixed that a little bit this afternoon.
And Amy, the very last link in the chat is for the internships.
Awesome. All right.
Well, and Alex, Alex is asking if we already registered, do we need to register again? No.
No.
Yeah.
Nope, just once. And for folks who said they might be bringing someone, just make sure you register them.
Okay.
Or they register themselves, either one.
Oh, yeah. And one quick thing because this came up, somebody asked me a question. So if you have signed yourself up and then you're bringing girls, do register the girls, or at least let us know that you're bringing girls so we can work them into the count.
Mm-hmm. I just responded to you, Amy.
Oh, yes. Okay, good.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, Marjorie.
I just want a clarification because you just said if you bring in girls, make sure you register. Every single girl who's coming with you, although you're a group, needs to be registered individually.
Yeah, I think y'all say the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if a group is coming, every single person in that group needs to be registered, not registered the group.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is true. And yes, and I don't want to complicate things. I just know that I had heard from a couple of folks that knew they might have 6 girls. They weren't sure of exactly the names of the girls. So we were just trying to figure out, making sure we get 6 counted in and can get the names as soon as we can. So, absolutely. But the preference would be to register everyone individually. Yes. All right.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording.